because that is something that is working with them itself is probably a mini MBA in itself, right? It's
True.
probably more rigorous than actually going to B school and getting an MBA. Can you share what that was like?
Yeah, sure. So GE, from that perspective, is a leadership institution, as I would say. I mean, there's so many things to learn, and I'm profoundly thankful to a company like General Electric for having shaped my career and so on and so forth. But having said that, I have worked under their leadership. I've not worked directly with some of them, maybe with the last chairman, yes. But each of them kind of managed the business in different eras. The times when Jack Welch was there, he kind of pioneered the whole aspect of corporate performance, meritocracy. At that time, the world was a lot more simpler. It was largely bipolar. The markets were free markets. There was technology play. The whole aspect of Six Sigma, the kind of efficiency gains that they spoke about, the outsourcing to countries where you could do business you could set up shops in India, and then cost arbitrage worked well, and so on and so forth. That era was extremely different. But he was a great leader in terms of driving the performance culture, the meritocracy and stuff like that. And that's one organization amongst many that I've seen which kind of only believed in performing. There's no culture of free handouts and stuff like that. So it's a very, you are who you are, you're determined by your performance. It's as simple as that. You don't need any godfathers in the scheme of things. Coming to Immelt, his period was very challenging too, because when he took over, it was around the time when the 9/11 happened. The entire aviation and capital markets went through what it was. His leadership was very, very different. And then the rise of China during his period, and then the Lehman Brothers, the crisis of 2008 financial crisis. So that was a different kind of a era altogether.
It required a different type of leader.
Different kind of leader, and then the whole world changed to challenging whether the conglomerate philosophy itself is it the right, for a company to have aviation at one end, to a capital markets at another end, to an oil and gas business at another, power. So these were diametrically opposite in terms of products and services. So the entire conglomerate philosophy was challenged, and today what you see of General Electric is each of these businesses are separately managed and run and listed in the organization. And then that's what the last chairman, or the Flannery kind of. So all these three are great leaders. I mean, there's tons of learning. The amount of, even if you were to have a conversation, just hear them speak. The knowledge, the levels were unbelievable. But what is even more important in the general philosophy was the cadence around which they ran the organization. Imagine running a $150 billion organization of that scale across different geographies with such diverse employee base,
workforce,
and getting the supply chain right. It taught us a lot about how interconnected the world is and how can you still tightly manage all of this. Today, what we do is drop in that ocean. What we are doing in my scale that we are talking about is a drop in what GE was. All that learning that we bring is whatever we picked up in those General Electric days. So it's a leadership factory, as I would say.